Dun,
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 dun.
dun, dun, dun.
So now, happy early New Year, football fans. Sad news. We only have 2 weeks left of the regular season. Worse news, me and my pals are about to spoil week 17 for you by telling you all the final scores and the best player props. So let's get right to it. Let's go down to Dallas Lions at the Cowboys, two playoff-bound teams with more in common than just color scheme. What I mean is, people laugh all the time at Detroit for not getting to a title game since 1991 with Eric Kramer, Barry Sanders, Herman Moore et al. But the Cowboys haven't been to one either since 1995. Yeah, 1995. 95 is the year the movie GoldenEye came out, so that's 2 James Bonds ago. It's the year the first Toy Story came out, so that's 4 light years ago. It's the year Michael Jordan quit baseball to wear the number 45, and the year OJ was unable to wear those gloves. And it's the year Jagged Little Pill, DVDs, and Patrick Mahomes all made the scene. So yeah, it's been a while for both these teams. This year, who's going to win it down in Big D? Cowboys laying 6 total at the time of this recording. 53.5. I say the Cowboys win, but don't cover. 26-21. Kevin Hench, my fantasy football final foe. How say you on this one?
I am in your garage on this one, Sheck. Cowboys win, don't cover. You know, this home road Jekyll and Hyde thing with the Cowboys almost got broken in Miami. Like it felt like they were going to get over the hump. They would have. Obviously, that game was decided on the first drive when instead of having his athletic quarterback sneak it in from the 6-inch line, McCarthy decided to hand to his unathletic fullback. You literally knew that was going to be the difference in the game. This week, the Cowboys do get over the hump. They win the game, but I think that Lions Thunder and Lightning combo, and I don't know who you're starting in the final, probably Jahmyr Gibbs, but I think they're going to give the Cowboys a lot of trouble on the ground. So the Lions keep it close. Cowboys by a field goal.
Game time decision on my fantasy roster. If you hear the 3 car horns go, that means that Kevin Hench, Eddie Spaghetti, and I all shared the same side of things. Eddie Spaghetti, how say you here?
I think we are all in the same garage again in this one. I have the Cowboys winning, but I do have the Lions covering. I think this will be a classic, probably like a final drive game here. I think we're all going to be glued to our TVs watching this one. We know the story already. Dallas is good at home. Jared Goff on the road. The splits aren't that great. Not as bad as previous years, but not as good as he is at home this year. And Hench is talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. So dynamic. He could beat you in the run game. He could beat you in the pass game now. I do like him to score a touchdown. You're getting plus money, plus 125 for him to score a touchdown. 5 TDs in the last 3 games here. So again, tight game, close game. Cowboys probably shouldn't have lost last week. I'm not going to really hold it against them. They're going to win this one 27-24.
Well, there you heard. We're all on the Cowboys winning, but the Lions getting past that number. The ruggedly handsome aggregate of our scores, Brady Lemieux, says he likes the Cowboys to win and cover. What else is new? Steelers
No, to win and not cover.
To win and not cover. Thank you for that correction. This is the sort of thing that's going to raise my ire in front of this fantasy football collision coming, but I appreciate that note still. Steelers at Seahawks. And a fun note here. You remember when Roethlisberger hurt his elbow in week 2 of 2019? That's not the fun part. Mason Rudolph came in to replace him. That was against the Seattle Seahawks, who won that day because of a nice game by their then QB, Russell Wilson. Now Russ is benched in Denver while his old backup, Drew Lock, is winning games in Seattle, and where, who knows, maybe he'll get some more snaps against Mason Rudolph or Kenny Pickett or both. I think this all means the 2024 Denver Broncos starter is Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if I have that right. One thing's for sure, both teams playing up in Seattle this weekend need it real bad. Seahawks given 3.5 total on this one now. 41. I say the Hawks win it 28-23. Hench, how say you?
Same garage here. I think the Seahawks win 24-17. It won't need a last minute touchdown drive to pull this one out. And you won't have 31.5 fantasy points from George Pickens on your bench this week against me. Be interesting to see if you start him. But yeah, I think that last week was a one-off for your beloved Steelers. Seahawks win on their way to the playoffs.
What a jerk. Spaghetti, how say you?
I have the Hawks winning 25-20 over the Steelers. I do like that Mason Rudolph is more aggressive than the other Steelers quarterbacks. Although I do think the clock will probably run out on how impressive he'll look. I think the Seahawks right now, Smith's looking good, the receivers looking good, the running game, the duo has been really good, so they're looking a lot better this portion of the season. I am going to go Kenneth Walker under 63.5 rushing yards, -117. Not because I don't like the way he's playing, but mainly because Zach Charbonnet has 63 carries in those 6 weeks. He's cutting into his touches. Again, Kenneth Walker has gone under that mark 5 of the last 6 weeks. So Seahawks 25, Steelers 20. Bet the Kenneth Walker under.
I don't like your words about Mason Rudolph. Either one
So
of you. Look at you both. You're both Scrooges turning your noses up at Rudolph.
But we're in a 6-car garage, right? This is 6 for 6.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. Yes, the Seahawks, says Brady Lemieux, win it by 5.5. Quick look in the rearview mirror to see how we all got to this point.
No.
In the season. Okay, listen, not a banner week for any of us, but we're all over 500. Brady Lemieux leading the way. The rest of us huddled together underneath in shame. We're kind of like the NFC South. But let's move on. Bengals at Chiefs. Talk about a drop-off, big drop-off from how great this mini rivalry's been. At least since he can blame 2023 on their best player being out. What's your excuse, KC? And no, losing 5 of your last 8, including at home to the Raiders, has nothing to do with who's in that luxury box. It might, though, have something to do with this fella's age. Chiefs giving 7, total 44.5. I say the Chiefs get right-ish. They win by 10. Hench, how say you?
I'm so angry at the world, but particularly the Chiefs, because my plus 350 Chiefs to not make the playoffs should have cashed. I knew this regression was coming.
Still might.
What I didn't know was that Josh McDaniels, Brandon Staley, and Sean Payton would make no effort whatsoever to win the division. So now Mahomes has the nice gentle landing, like coming off Aiden O'Connell, he gets Jake Browning and Easton Stick to end the season. So obviously the Chiefs are gonna limp into the playoffs, and I'm gonna lose that bet. I think they win easily against the demoralized Bengals, 27-13.
Spaghetti.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Each week, I keep kind of defending the Chiefs in my mind. I'm going, I can't get this bad with Patrick Mahomes and with Andy Reid here. I do have them winning 33-24 over this Bengals team. I think if this is a full force Bengals team, I'd probably be taking the Bengals right now, but I still have the Chiefs winning this game. I think it's a lot on Patrick Mahomes this week, with obviously Kelsey not playing up to his standard, Pacheco with a concussion injury. So I think that Mahomes over 20.5 rushing yards, -113. He's done it 10 times. I think I could see a lot of scrambles for him. This is going to be Patrick Mahomes' kind of hero ball in this game to win this one. But I do think it may be a Chiefs get-right game this week.
Well, Brady Lemieux agrees. He says Chiefs win by 11 here. And while KC, I'm not such a dim cynic that I would declare the Chiefs irrelevant come January. They have no shot at getting the number 1 seed anymore. That's left to be settled between the Dolphins and the Ravens. Tua and company are headed down to Charm City or up, I should say, to Charm City to face the anointed MVP and now almost everyone's pick out of the AFC to get to the Super Bowl. But like I say, it is still a 2-horse race. Or not horses. They're 2 different kinds of animals for the number 1 seed. Baltimore can only fall, as you see here, to the 2 seed. For the Finns, though, the drop would be much more severe. You see their odds for the 1st and the 5th seed are just about the same, in part because of that regular season finale against the Buffalo Bills, and also because of something they can't fix now, that loss, inexplicable as it was, to Tennessee down in Miami. Ravens giving 3.5, total 47. I'm riding with my Super Bowl team. I'm not getting off the train now. Dolphins by a point, 24-23. Hench, I'll say you.
Well, I don't have them winning outright. I'm not quite as gutsy as you are, but I think they do keep it close. That defense just good. I don't know. That defense is excellent. But Lamar, the MVP, I think pulls it out. Ravens 23, Dolphins 20.
Spaghetti.
I have the Ravens winning 27-22, but being honest, we do the confidence meter a lot here on -3. Not so confident in the Ravens. I think they will kind of come back down to earth, getting 5 interceptions off the 49ers. That's not going to happen in this game. Tua won't be that sloppy with the football. I think we're going to see a lot of Tyreek Hill in this game on his chase for 2,000, although it's probably out of reach here. However, I do really love Zay Flowers. I think the Zay Flowers-Lamar Jackson connection he's finally getting a receiver here that he trusts, and he could always look his way. I'll have him over the 4.5 reception mark. It's -163. Not a great number, but it's going to win. He's done that 9 times this year. Again, should be a close one. Ravens come back down to earth, win this game by 5.
Uniforms are / uniformant note. That purple and that aqua look nice together out on the gridiron. Enjoy that one, Charm City. Ravens win, says Brady Lemieux, but they do not cover. Patriots at the Bills for what might be Bills' last visit to Buffalo. And Mac's last minutes on any NFL sideline. Wonder what he'll do in his next career. Bigger question in the moment, though. Will Josh Allen and company be visiting the postseason? Looking more and more likely. And like we mentioned, they can still win the East. So 0 value at this point in betting them to make the playoffs. But do sprinkle something on that division title at +250 and maybe on Josh Allen for MVP at 12-1 too. As for the game, Bills now giving 13, total 40.5. I say the Bills hammer them real good, as they mostly have over the last couple of years. Hench, how say you?
Oh, Shaq, we have we just
Wild.
the same garage. Like
Mhm.
the two craziest results in a crazy weekend was the Bills not blowing out the Chargers, and then Bailey Zappi taking down the possibly playoff bound Broncos. Neither of those results made any sense. I think order is restored in Buffalo this week when the very good Bills team blows out the very bad Patriots team 30-13.
Eddie Spaghetti.
I have the Bills winning 30-20 in this game. I think maybe the Patriots will get a late score and get that cover. So I think the Patriots will cover this game. Bailey Zappi, who knows, if he came into the season earlier over Mac Jones, maybe the Patriots are in a different position right now. Although it's probably best for them to be in the top 5 to get a new quarterback. I think the Bills also. I kind of like what they did with their offense. They're relying more on the ground game, giving Josh Allen a bit of a breather. They're more balanced now, which is how they should be. Unfortunately, though, for Stephon Diggs, it's kind of affected his game. I like him under 67.5 receiving yards, -119. That's happened 5 of the last 6 weeks. Again, more James Cook means less Stephon Diggs. Easier for life for Josh Allen here, but Bills win this game by 10.
Brady Lemieux likes the Bills up to 14.5. I don't think it's going to go that high. Next, Packers and Vikes Favre Bowl. Pack will have Jordan Love in the role of QB for this one. Less certain who'll take the snaps and how many for those Vikes, but the unsolvable problem is, of course, whoever it is, it won't be Kirk Cousins. Nevertheless, the Vikes giving 2 here, total 46. I think the visitors go in there and leave with a 7-point victory. Hench, how say you?
Oh my God. It's like
Wild, Hench. It's wild.
like
See, look at the synergy. And now we have to wage war in fantasy.
I know, cheating off each other's papers. I think the version of the Packers that handed it to the Chiefs a few weeks ago, not the Packers that let a double-digit lead slip away against the Panthers. But that offense is looking good. Aaron Jones looked really healthy. I like the Packers 27-20.
Spaghetti.
I'm going Packers 27-23 over the Vikings here. Number one, in practice yesterday, we recorded this on Thursday. Wednesday's practice, the Vikings were splitting snaps between Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins. So Jordan Love, tied for 3rd in the league this year with 27 touchdown passes, has been a roller coaster season for him. But surprisingly enough, and I'm not sure if anyone would guess this, the Packers offense this year, in terms of DVOA, points per game, and EPA, better than it was with Aaron Rodgers last year. So again, roller coaster season, but that offense is pretty good. Jordan Love, I trust in. There's no numbers on this yet on Caesar Sportsbook, but Jordan Love, 2 or more touchdown passes. I like that a lot. He's done that 6 of the last 7 weeks. And again, like I said, tied for 3rd in the league with 27 touchdown passes, kind of flying under the radar. Packers win this one, 27-23.
I don't know if we're right collectively, but we agree a lot, the 3 of us here. Brady Lemieux, no surprise, on the Packers 2 here. By the way, what happened to Josh Dobbs? Further proof, football season is long. Raiders at the Colts, more of the 2023 backup QB bonanza. With or without the playoffs, though, some cause for optimism on both sides, thanks to Antonio Pierce, who I assume is going to get the gig full time for 24, and Shane Steichen. Colts at home, given 3.5, total 43.5. I think Vegas wins this one. I think they have a shot at running the ball all day long here on the Colts, despite the way they set up at home, the Colts under that dumb dome of theirs. Vegas wins this one, 22-20. Hench, how say you?
With you again, Sheck. It's so funny in professional football, the rah-rah stuff. And like, I've always been a fan of the Bill Belichick, like, just do your job. Like, do I have to yell at you guys to get you fired up to do your jobs? And it's like, and yet Antonio Pierce, what we kept hearing he was saying all week leading up to that Chiefs game, and that he was reiterating during the game, was like, we have to be violent. We have to be physical. And then you're actually watching the manifestation of the coach putting his fist through the chalkboard. You're like, oh my God, they were so much more physical than KC in that game. And KC looked like they wanted no part of it. It was bizarre to watch an NFL team turtle at home while the underdog visitors just throwing haymakers from the left defensive end, the right defensive end. I like the Raiders to continue it. They want this coach to be their coach. 27-17 Raiders.
I'm going to skip the trivia question this week in favor of seeing if you can summon a quick Taylor Swift lyric for us to explain that Raiders and Chiefs game.
Well, there's gonna be a blank space where in the victory column for the Chiefs in the playoffs, because they're gonna lose first round.
Okay, I mean, I'll take it. I don't know what that stammering was all about, but I bet it approximated something from the Taylor Swift songbook. Spaghetti, how say you?
I'm actually
not on Taylor Swift on the game.
Yeah, I'm actually going Colts in this one, 23-19 over the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders, the team carried Aiden O'Connell last week. We had like 62 passing yards. I know the Colts kind of imploded versus the Falcons, and Gardner Minshew ripped them a new one. In the battle of backup QBs, I am going to side with Minshew, who is one of the better ones in this league. But Check, I do agree with you. The Raiders will have a pretty good game on the ground. Zamir White, last two games, 4.1 and 6.6 yards per carries, 17 carries and 22 carries. So they clearly trust him, even with Josh Jacobs out, 145 yards last week. So I like his over in that game. But again, I like the Colts to kind of get right here and get back in the playoff mix, 23-19.
Brady Lemieux says Vegas is an outright winner. Enjoy NFL Week 17, everybody. We'll talk to you after it and before Week 18 to get you right for the big regular season climax. Until then, thanks so much, football fans. It's been a thin slice of heaven.